You take the moon and you take the sun.
You take everything that seems like fun. You start up and then you're done. So come on in, feel free to do some looking. Stay a while, 'cause something's always cooking. Come on in, feel free to do some looking. Stay a while, 'cause something's always cooking.
Oh, yeah.
Another day, another dollar. Morning, Crips.
Good morning, Edward.
I got a big day ahead of me.
Indeed, we have to get these orders completed.
I better head out then. Keep the camp safe for me.
Will do.
I'll be back soon, Coron. You're such a good girl.
Youpie, youpie!
What? Weird. Anyway, time to hunt.
Welcome back, Edward. I see you got a lot.
You're right about that. I did a very good job.
I'll get started on this tonight.
You do that. I think I'm going to head out again and enjoy the night. It's nice out there.
Be careful out there. I don't want to go searching for your body.
Before I head out, I'll take a quick puff of my cigar. I wonder what people will smoke in the future. Maybe stuff infused with fruit. And to think that months ago, I was framed for a crime I didn't commit, and freed by that widow, Jessica Leclerc.
Okay, Sheriff. Here they are.
Tell the Marshal this ain't how we do things here. But I'll oblige him this once.
You with the hammer, and you'll do. We need to perform a work detail out near Tumbleweed. Come on, get in. Good day, gentlemen. Oh, don't do anything stupid. Nobody gets shot. Throw your guns to the ground and get on down here. That's it. Let them out. Now, please. Okay. Okay. You all run away. Aside from you. Try to stay out of trouble. This is a stroke of good fortune for all of you. Use it. Now, sir, how about you pick up these guns and we move out? My mistress is waiting for us. Madam, we're back.
So you must be the one who got framed. What did you tell him, Horley?
Nothing, as we discussed.
Thank you, Horley. I'm Jessica Leclerc. And you are?
Edward Cornelius. Thanks for freeing me.
You are welcome. After all, I know you're not guilty. I was there that day when you were arrested.
I beg your pardon?
I saw everything from a two-story window. After the trigger was pulled, one person knocked you out and planted the gun used for the murder on you. It was a group of 4 that set you up.
And one of these people also made Mrs. Leclerc a widow.
It was my husband that died that day. If only I could get my hands on the killer, I would show him true suffering.
I may have never been married myself, but I do understand what you want to do. I ran away from home when I was 11. My father was a piece of shit who would beat me, and my brother for no reason. The things I would do to him now.
I assure you, Edward, my suffering is much greater than what you experienced. Horley, please get him some fresh clothes.
Certainly, madam. This way. You'll find a change of clothes in there, alongside a few other items you might need, a lasso, a knife, and a lantern, I believe.
I feel like a new man.
That's a lot better than those prison stripes.
Here, madam.
Thank you, Horley. I needed a drink. It's been a long day.
Mrs. Leclerc's husband was murdered by one of his business partners.
I don't know why he was betrayed, but I will seek them out and get the answers I need. Did you know one of his friends survived a duel against Mr. Kelly of Brimstone? He had a great group of friends.
I grew up in Brimstone. That man was death incarnate.
I doubt even Landon Ricketts could take him out. It's a good thing Red Harlow killed him during that battle royale a decade ago, but I'm getting off topic. These are the casings of the bullets fired that day. I've been keeping tabs on them for a while now. I will hunt every one of them down for what they did to me and you. Of course, I'm not asking you for your help, Edward. I don't want to make my problems yours. This is something I must do myself.
Then why did you save me, if you don't want my help?
Mrs. Leclerc would like to help you get back on your feet. Get back to work.
I didn't want you to die for something you didn't do. You're not the one responsible for my husband's death. That's why I had Horley free you.
You know, I've never been one to read books, but I do believe it was Evelyn Miller who wrote that. He who looks into the abyss, realizes that there's nothing looking back at him. The only thing he sees, is his own character. These people will get what's coming to them, and they only have themselves to blame.
The winds are blowing and the storm's coming. I pray that you don't get swept up in it.
I promise that I won't get involved in your business.
Good. Now listen here, Edward. While you are a free man right now, the law still thinks you're guilty. There's a safe house north of Tumbleweed. Stay there for a few days and lay low for a while. I hope you don't get arrested again, because I won't be there to save you.
Thank you for everything, Jessica. I wish you luck with getting revenge.
Goodbye, Edward.
I wonder where she is now. I hope she's doing alright. Hopefully, she got her revenge, and put her husband's soul to rest. Is that Gus? I should pay him a visit. Hello, Gus.
Edward. Long time no see.
How's business?
It's good when the bitch Harriet isn't spraying you with her homemade perfume that will leave you with a bad hangover.
I know what you mean. I've heard that a man got turned into a deer after being sprayed with that stuff. I'm shooting on sight if she enters my camp.
Same here. I would rather take my chances with that cave I've heard about.
Cave?
Yeah. I was overhearing some Murfree Brood members They said that there was a cave behind the waterfall at Illusion's pool. Could be interesting.
It could be a idiot that belongs to their gang. If that's the case, then I will go there. They've been a problem in Roanoke Ridge for far too long.
I don't care about stopping gangs, so if you want to get yourself killed, be my guest, but at least take a shotgun with you. I recommend a double barrel. It's quicker to fire than your pump action.
Okay, thanks for the info. I'm going back to my camp.
Stay safe out there.
See you soon.
I remember when I first encountered Gus and Harriet. They were fighting like two alleyway cats.
Got to stop!
Madam, please!
No!
I'll be right with you.
I know you're up there!
Oh, marvelous. There she is. Just what I need. The crazy wood nymph. Yeah, Mrs. Hobbs will be by to handle the taxidermy.
Oh, travel safe, my friend. Is there any animal that you have not slaughtered?
Oh, you flatter me, Miss
Sorry, I
Davenport.
really will be right with
The
you.
answer's no, but I'm retired, as you know, and have been for some time.
Yes, and how many have you out there killing for you now?
Business is booming. What about you there? You a hunter? Gus McMillan, master craftsman of fine clothing and accessories. Here's my card. I pay top dollar for animal furs and parts. The rarer, the
Don't
better.
listen to him.
Seriously, come see me.
You're no better than a murderer. And one day, you'll be seen as such.
Whoa, whoa. Would you mind taking us outside? I don't want any
Shut
trouble.
up, Glenn!
Listen, soon as a squirrel finds a cure for tuberculosis, let's talk.
You should have been court-martialed at birth!
Annoying, isn't she? See him? The only thing he had on his mind was hunger, sweetheart, but I pulled the trigger. Survival of the fittest, isn't that your mentor's trite catchphrase?
It's not survival of the fittest. You are killing to line your own
This
pockets.
is how I make my living. We don't all have a rich daddy. While you're camped out in the woods, making witches' brews and talking to the wildlife, the rest of us are doing some real
You think
work.
this is some big joke?
Oh,
That's
what
enough.
the hell is that? Crazy shrimp. They should throw you in an asylum.
Oh, that's it. I quit. You can tell the mayor I've gone home.
Gus is definitely the better of the two. I bet Harriet never washes herself. What a dirty woman.
Welcome back, Edward.
Crips, get the guns and the weapon locker loaded and ready for use.
Edward, what's going on?
Crips, you see that waterfall across from our camp? I was informed that there is a cave behind that waterfall that is possibly a Murphy brood idiot. I'm going to pay them a visit. If I'm not back in a few hours, get help and come after me.
Really? Well, normally, I would be more concerned, but I know you're a really resilient man and I know you can handle yourself. Please don't get yourself killed.
I promise. This is a good thing I'm doing. Not just for the region, but for myself as well. I've been bushwhacked before by those Murphy broods. Well, this is it. Well, how about that? There actually is a cave here. I should be on my guard if there are Murphy broods here. There might be something down here. Left or right? Left. Doesn't look like this cave has any. Where am I? What is this place? What the hell is that? Whatever that thing was, it was not human. Looks like I'm in a mine. I hear more of those things coming. What happened to a place like this to end up underground? What is this? Speed cola. I've never seen one of these. This place has seen better days. Looks like I'm now in the town. I'll have to see if I can find a way out of this place. Wow, another person. Hello, are you okay, sir? Can you say anything? I'm guessing you're dumb. I'll get you out of there. Okay, you're free. It looks like you could use a drink. Whoa, you just opened the way out of here. I'll have to keep you around.
Double points!
Looks like there's something behind that rubble. I wonder how I'm going to clear a path. It ain't the saloon and Valentine, but it'll do. With this, I could clear that debris in front of that red machine. Big guy, I got something for you. Charge. Now let's see what we got. This looks like that speed cola machine I saw earlier. Maybe these machines dispense something. Juggernog. I feel like I now have armadillo scales. Maybe now I'll be able to tank a bunch of hits from those things. This town sure has been left to rot. Vulturade. Tastes like coagulated blood. I feel like I'm gonna throw it back up, but my eyesight is now better than it was before. Mule kick.
Across the fields, across the plains, he ran so fast he dodged the rain.
Smells like gunpowder. This is something those Del Lobos in New Austin should be drinking. Time to see what this drink does. This is making me all jittery. I could probably reload faster now. Why is there a beam of light coming from this chest? I'd better open it. Whoa. What is that? It looks like it came from the future. Oh my god. This thing is shredding though these monsters. I'm unstoppable. A giant mansion? This could be interesting. Which? No one can float like that. I gotta get out of here. Thank God I'm out. Take this, you bitchy witch. It looks like this maze is next. Not this way. Nope. Damn. Looks like I found the exit. Is this supposed to be a gazebo? Increase your firepower. Going off of the drink machines, I believe it. Wow. This thing does pack a punch. Looks like there's no way forward. This is where I make my last stand. Come get some new monsters. Shit. No. AHH. My head hurts. Wait, why am I wearing mild apprentice outfit? This spot looks familiar. Is that my horse? Bo. Is he dead? I left him at camp before I entered the cave. What's going on here?
Maybe I can provide some insight. Edward Cornelius.
Who are you, and how do you know my name?
You have a lot of questions, and I'll answer them the best I can. I am known to many as the Strange Man. I am an accountant, keeping track of souls and where they end up. You entered a purgatory after you died.
You're telling me I'm dead?
Yes. The snowstorm subsided after 2 months and you celebrated by getting drunk. After downing 4 bottles of scotch, you rode your horse on this bridge above us. A train was heading towards you and seeing no other option, you jumped off the bridge with your horse.
I remember now. I was so happy that storm came to an end. I remember leaving Blackwater and waking up next to my horse. You said I was sent to a purgatory?
Yes. It was to find out where you are on the scale of good and bad. Every 98 years, a soul is created with a clean slate that has no sense of good or evil. You are the most recent clean slate that was created. And to help with determining where you landed on the scale of good and bad, 2 people were created for this purgatory. Old Man Oak was made to represent good and Archibald II was created to be the face of bad.
So they weren't real? What about that woman named Wolfachoo, and that vision I had about my father telling me about Archibald?
All of those things were created to decide where you would end up.
If that's the case, then why did I fight a bunch of monsters in our underground town?
Even with those 2, you still were on the middle of the scale, so I made one final test in the form of a town filled with monsters. I decided that if you killed 300 monsters, you would get to go to heaven. If not, you would go to hell.
How many of those things did I kill?
385.
So I go to heaven?
Yes. I know this is all a lot to process, and this may be anticlimactic, but just know that you are now deemed a good soul. You can rest easy now.
This is a lot to take in, but since I remember what happened now, I won't fight what comes next.
You will disappear soon and pass on to the next world. Take a moment to reflect on your life and time spent here in this purgatory. I hope I was able to answer all of your questions, Edward. I must go now. I have another person I need to test. He goes by the name of John Marston. Goodbye, Edward.
So this is it. This is the end. At least I get to watch the sunrise. What even caused that snowstorm to happen in that first place? I guess I'll never know. I wonder what has become of my brother, Henry. At least I won't be rotting in hell with my piece of shit father. Goodbye, world.
Mr. Edward Cornelius. Born in 1870, he grew up in Brimstone and was raised in an abusive home. His father, Albert Cornelius, fought in the American Civil War and was exposed to a lot of death. Because of this, Albert would suffer from PTSD and become an alcoholic. Despite this, he would meet a woman by the name of Catherine Roberts in 1868. Catherine was a music writer for stage performances in Chicago. They would marry each other later that year and settle down in Brimstone. Catherine gave birth to Edward in 1870 and would give birth again 3 years later to a boy named Henry. Edward and Henry suffered regular beatings from his father for the smallest inconveniences. Despite this, their mother showed them that there was always a bright side to things in life. Catherine would even teach Edward how to play the piano. One night in 1881, things got really ugly. Albert got home from the saloon and started throwing stuff around the living room. Catherine tried to calm him down, but this was a bad decision. Albert ended up shooting Catherine in the chest, and Catherine returned the favor by lodging a knife in his throat. The two bleed out and Edward ran away from home that night before shit hit the fan. He never found out about their deaths. He never looked back. Henry would be found by Sheriff Bartlett and be taken into an orphanage. Edward would travel around the U.S. and make his living by becoming a traveling piano player for the next decade until he found himself in New Hanover. While in Blackwater, he found himself framed and taken in by the police. He would have been executed had it not been for Jessica Leclerc. After that, a massive snowstorm would hit the area he was in and all of the saloons and moonshine shacks had to close down due to a lack of supplies. With nowhere to play music, Edward would find himself at a camp belonging to a man named Cripps. They talked for a while and Cripps decided to offer Edward a job. After all, Cripps needed a new partner after his old partner got disemboweled by wolves. Edward agreed and the two shook hands. Cripps gave him a place to sleep and a new pair of clothes for the job. Over the next 2 months, Edward would hunt animals and make deliveries to buyers. However, he struggled to find game in his environment due to all of the snow. And every time he made a delivery, he had to defend the buyers from people wanting the supplies. Eventually, the snowstorm came to an abrupt end. Legend has it, a hooded cryomancer witch cast a spell to freeze the U.S. and turn it into a frozen wasteland as revenge for what happened in Salem over 200 years ago. She was hog-tied and burned to death with moonshine by two men who went by names of Oak Hudson and Archibald Winston II before she could complete her plan. It's unknown if this actually happened. Edward was so joyful that the snowstorm stopped. He decided to celebrate by visiting the bar in Blackwater. After a few hours, he was drooling and completely out of it. He somehow got on his horse and was making his way back to Cripps when he decided to take a shortcut. He got on the bridge connecting West Elizabeth and New Hanover, and this was a bad move to make. Edward made it halfway across before it happened. Edward saw that a train was coming and not being able to outrun the train, he decided to take a shortcut. He jumped off the bridge with his horse, hit a shallow part of the river, and died from the impact of the fall. Edward's body was found a few days later on the shores of West Elizabeth. His body was unrecognizable, so he was buried in Blackwater Cemetery as a John Doe. R.I.P. Edward Cornelius. 1870 to 1898.